Good afternoon. Welcome back to Drivability on CFRA. It's 5:34. We are still live from the Ottawa Gatineau International Auto Show at the Convention Centre, and we're joined now by Rick Walker, host of the SST Car Show on CTV2, and we've just met. It's great to have you on the show.
Fantastic to be here. A privilege.
And you've been helping out through the weekend, keeping things going and doing some PR stuff. How's it going so far?
The crowd has been amazing, but that's because we have amazing cars here. Over $2 million worth of Lamborghinis up on the second floor in the exotic car area. And we have a lot of pre-production vehicles here too, including the new 2015 Hyundai Genesis, which Hyundai is hoping will take on some of the world's best, including cars from BMW and Mercedes-Benz.
Now, maybe you can tell us, because I was curious when we were looking through. There are 3 floors here, cars on all 3. How on earth do they get cars? Like, what is the elevator that takes a car to the 3rd floor?
Where is it, and how does it get them there?
Well, I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Okay.
Well, they have freight elevators here big enough to deal with that cars. Come on, of course they do.
How long does it take to get all of the cars in here?
You know what? They put this thing together in a matter of hours. I mean, they really do. It kind of starts a couple of days beforehand, but I was here the night before the VIP reception, and I was asking myself, how the heck are these guys going to get this place together? And within a matter of hours, it went from being in complete disarray to completely organized and finished. Totally amazing. The guys in this place do an amazing job.
And what do people seem to be really responding to here? What are you seeing them drawn to?
You know, they're actually everything, because they kind of come in and they're drawn to the exotics, of course, right? Aston Martin with the Vantage and the Lamborghini Aventador in the back, and the new Rolls-Royce Wraith. I mean, that car right there is worth $500,000. So those are the attractions.
Have a look at that one.
Yeah, pretty sharp stuff. But when they get here, I mean, they're seeing the vehicles that would appeal to them on a day-to-day basis, and it's a chance for them to go from booth to booth, compare all of the different things that are available, compare the brands, compare the models, and see what's right for them.
Well, that's the thing. It's one-stop shopping. If you're in the market for a new car, this is the place to go, because you can just go from A through Z and sit, feel, look, touch, without having to deal with the salesman, without having to deal with any of that stuff, and get a good idea of what it is you want.
And that's the key, because it's not just a place where they're trying to sell you a car. This is not just a dealer-driven show. It has grown to the point where they now have support from the manufacturers. Mm-hmm. So this is an industry-driven show with PR people from the car companies, and they have brand ambassadors here who are here for no other reason than to just share information about the vehicles with you, not to put some sort of high-pressure sales pitch on you. So if you're looking for information about a new vehicle of any kind, whether you're in the market now or 6 months or 2 years from now, this is the place to come and educate yourself.
And even if you're not looking for a new car, there's a bunch of different accessories and different people who are here talking about all sorts of stuff. I mean, obviously it's all car related. We had someone on from Calabogie earlier talking about going out and driving race cars. What other kind of booths are they going to find other than just the cars?
Well, there's G1 upstairs. They can talk to those guys about, I guess, living out of fantasy and driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini on a racetrack. You can arrange that with those guys. You'll find guys who can help you spruce up your garage with the right kind of flooring and cabinetry, and set up that man cave that all men dream of.
Everybody's got to have one. I mean, but the aftermarket presence here is good. I mean, it's something that you can go up and just take the stress off of looking at the new cars and think, well, that's pretty cool. And with the additionals, with the online availability now, with the guys we spoke to there, the whole thing with online now, and even going to get your car maintained, like, it's a whole new market out there that's coming in now that I never thought of being in this game would ever come into that. I mean, fleet management for the general public. It's a great idea. Never thought it would come to fruition, but buying in bulk saves you money.
And you'll find information about that kind of stuff right here. And if you're a woman and you're thinking this is just a place for guys and a bunch of gearheads, it is not. But it's not just a gearhead place, right? Or even a place if you're like a mechanically inclined woman. It's not just for that. It's for kids too, because they've got Spider-Man and Iron Man here for entertainment, right? To keep the kids occupied and entertained. But it's also a place for families to come and kind of look at what kind of suits their lifestyle.
Okay, now we've got you on our show, so let's hear a little bit about your show because this is new to us. Tell our listeners.
CTV2, Saturday mornings, 11:30. We produce a program for CTV2 about cars. It's all about car culture, anything car related. We do a lot of classic car shows. We've done a lot of stuff here in the Ottawa, Gatineau area that we've put on our show in the past couple of years. It's a growing market for us. We have a growing fan base, and we're right across Canada, really. And we really travel to the best car shows across North America, whether it's the North American International Auto Show in Detroit, the SEMA Auto Show in Las Vegas, or the Ottawa Gatineau International Auto Show.
I guess what's that show like?
That is incredible. I mean, that's
something else.
That's top of the line, best custom cars in the world, right there. Industry-driven show. It's really for the industry, but they get the best custom car builders to show off the best stuff in the world right there.
And we hear a lot over the past few years. You hear about the Montreal show in Toronto and Detroit, but this show here in Ottawa is really picking up steam.
It has really grown. It's been back for 3 years after a brief vacation, but Peter Ginsberg, the show organizer, has done an incredible job of really putting this thing back together, getting it back on track. And I mean, look at this place. It's packed again today. It'll be packed again tomorrow. I'm sure it was packed last year. Right. Attendance keeps growing. I mean, they're really bursting at the seams here. It's too bad this convention center isn't twice the size because the show this place is that big. And the people of this city really should get behind this show because this show really helps drive the local economy too.
And there are so many different cars to see here. I have limited knowledge of car stuff, but I like to think I'm kind of a car girl. Even I, until recently, thought these shows were just the high end. You can't touch those cars. You could never afford that. Don't even look at it for too long. But I was looking around, and there are things that even on my radio salary I could afford.
Yeah, there was that bicycle right on the top of that other one.
Yeah,
that was.
Afford the bicycle.
hey, Nissan Micra. Lowest MRSP in Canada, $9,998. This is a pre-production model again that they have here now, so it's like a sneak preview of what's to come, but the car will soon be on the market. I mean, right there, that's an affordable vehicle for just about anybody, and it will appeal to a very wide demographic.
Well, I think that was part of their mandate, was to come to market with a car for less than 10 grand.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's fuel economy, affordability, and if you're driving in the city, you don't need anything more.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, you're going to see more cars like that, small, fuel-efficient vehicles that are cost-effective, but then they allow you to pack a lot of luxury into these little cars now too. It's sort of a European trend, right? You get a little car, you put leather seats, leather-wrapped steering wheel, all your USB connectivity in there, GPS, rear view camera, all of that stuff. So you get all that luxury, like Cadillac kind of luxury, in a little car.
I grew up in the country. It was all big trucks, and I drive a Mustang and all those little cars they have. But some of them they're starting to grow on me. They're really kind of sexy, and some of them are really tough looking.
You start getting into the European stuff, like the European influence. Everything is around the little hot hatch.
Yeah.
Even when I was younger back home, I mean, you had the Peugeots, you had the Renaults, you had the Citroens. You go back there now, and these little cars that are not much bigger than those Micras, I mean, these things they're quick. They're seriously quick cars. Yeah. They're not huge amounts of money. There's a huge following after them. And I think it's going to slowly but surely come into the North American market. And it already is. It's coming in slowly, and the market for the big, huge car, much as it breaks my heart with the muscle cars, is slowly descending. And that small car market is really coming through heavy. Yeah. You see
Hey, we test drove that Chevy Sonic, turbocharged engine, 1.8 liter, I believe. I was breaking a lot of hearts because we were drag racing guys in muscle cars, and I was kicking their you-know-what.
Oh, see, you do that, and you take their man card away.
It is. It's gone. Like you grab them, you toss them, and they're sitting there looking at you, going, "What happened?"
All right, well, we've got about a minute or so left. The show continues till what time tonight?
Oh boy, I believe it's 10 o'clock tonight and then 5 o'clock again tomorrow.
Okay, and folks can come in and they can buy tickets here right at the ticket booth?
Right at the ticket booth. Pick up one of our SST car magazines, and you can also get a free show program from the Ottawa Citizen. All kinds of info in there about the cars. You'll see our cars of the year, articles about them, the Jaguar F-Type, the new Corvette Stingray, which we honored here, along with a whole bunch of other cars for various different awards. Really cool stuff here. Get on down here because this is the place to be. It's not just for car freaks. This is it's a place for families.
Family event.
It is, man, and this is the place to be this weekend.
Well, awesome, Rick Walker. Thank you for coming to visit us from the SST Car Show on CTV2 Saturday mornings at
11:30.
I will check it out. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be back on Drivability on 580 CFRA in just a minute.